Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn a new chapter of physics, that is light. So our first topic is what is light? So basically light is a form of energy which produces in us the sensation of sight, which means that without light we won't be able to see the objects that are placed near to us. So when light falls on that object, then it reflects back, and by this we are able to see the objects around us. So there are so many phenomena which are related to light, such as twinkling of stars, formation of rainbow, etc. One major property of light is that it always travels in a straight line, and light travels fastest in vacuum, which means that it do not need a material medium for their propagation. Now next we will discuss about the laws of reflection. So before we discuss about the laws of reflection, we must know what the reflection is. So how can we define reflection? Reflection is the phenomena of bouncing back of light in the same medium on striking the surface of the object. So here we have two laws of reflection. First is, can you see there is a light which is coming from the source. This light is known as incident ray. So when it hit on the surface of the object, it bounced back, and the ray that is bouncing back is known as angle of reflection. So the first law of the reflection is angle of incidence must be equal to the angle of reflection, and there is a normal which is in between these two angles. So the normal make the angle of incidence with the incident ray, and it make the angle of reflection with the reflected ray. And our second law is the incident ray, normal and reflected ray all lie on the same plane. So these are the two laws of reflection. Now let's see how it works. The blue light which is coming from the source is the incident ray, and the red light which is bouncing back is the reflected ray. So our first law was angle of incidence must be equal to the angle of reflection, and this is possible only if the surface is smooth. Now our next topic is about mirrors. So basically we divide the mirrors into two categories. First is plane mirror, and the second one is curved mirror. Curved mirror is further divided into two parts, that is concave mirror and convex mirror. So now let's discuss about the properties of plane mirror. So first property of plane mirror is the image is erect, and second property is the image is of same size as that of the object. So do you see in the second image, the size of the image is same as that of the object. So plane mirror produce same height of the image as that of the object. Next is the distance of the object is same to the distance of the image. So that the distance in both the cases, that is the distance from object to mirror, is equals to the distance from image to mirror. The next property is the image formed is virtual, which means that we cannot obtain this image onto the screen. And next one is the image formed is laterally inverted. So this is the example of laterally inverted image. So for example P, when it is placed in front of the mirror, it will be seen as laterally inverted behind the mirror. So the image formed by the plane mirror is laterally inverted. So now let's talk about the spherical mirrors. So spherical mirror is that mirror whose reflecting surface is a part of a hollow sphere of a glass. So as I already told you, spherical mirror is of two types. One is concave and second one is convex. So let's first talk about concave mirror. So concave mirror is that spherical mirror in which reflecting surface is towards the center of the sphere, whereas in case of convex mirror, the reflecting surface is away from the center of the sphere. Now here are the few terms that are used in the study of spherical mirrors. So the first term is center of curvature, which is defined as the center of the hollow sphere. It is denoted by letter C. Next is radius of curvature. Radius of curvature is the radius of the hollow sphere of glass of which the spherical mirror is a part. Next is pole. Pole is defined as the center of the mirror and not the center of the sphere. So pole is usually represented by the letter P. Next is principal axis. It is defined as the straight line passing through the center of curvature and pole of the spherical mirror. So it is the imaginary line which passes from the center of the mirror. Next is focal length. Focal length is defined as the distance between the pole and the focus of the mirror. So it is denoted by small f. There is one relation between radius of curvature and focal length. Now, as we know, the distance of the focus from the pole is equals to the distance of the focus from the curvature. So, the radius of curvature is f plus f, that is 2f. Now, first we will see the pole. As I told you, pole is the center of the mirror. So, it is denoted by letter P. Next is focus. Focus is the point where all the light rays are either converge or diverge depending on the mirror. So, the distance between pole and focus is known as focal length, which is denoted by small f. Next is C, that is center of curvature. As I told you earlier, center of curvature is the center of the hollow sphere of glass of which the spherical mirror is part. So, the distance between P and F should be equal to the distance between C and F. So, we can say that the radius of curvature is equals to 2f. So, here C denotes center of curvature. So, CP is radius of curvature. As P is pole, XY is the principal axis, the imaginary line from the center of the mirror. F is the principal focus and PF is the focal length, which is denoted by small f. Now our next topic is ray rule. So before we discuss about ray rule, we must know about one thing, that concave mirrors are known as converging mirrors, whereas convex mirrors are known as diverging mirror. Now why concave mirrors are known as converging mirror? Because they have tendency to converge the light rays that are falling on it, and convex mirror have the ability to diverge the light rays falling on it. So now let's discuss about first ray rule. Our first ray rule is, when the light incident parallel to the principal axis on either of the mirror, then it always reflects from the focus. Now as I told you earlier, concave mirror is converging mirror. So here you can see that all the light rays converge and reflect through focus. Whereas in case of convex mirror, all the light rays diverge and appear to meet at focus. So make a note, in case of convex mirror, the light rays appear to meet at the focus. They are not actually meeting at the focus. Now our next ray rule is, when the light incident onto the focus, then it always reflects from parallel to the principal axis. So this rule is just opposite to the first rule. In first rule we had studied that when light ray is parallel to principal axis, it reflects from the focus. Whereas in second ray rule, we are saying that when light is incident from the focus, it always reflects from parallel to principal axis. The rest, the nature of the mirrors will remain same. That is, concave have converging nature and convex have diverging nature. So our next ray rule is, when the ray of light incident on the center of curvature of the mirror, it is reflected back along the same path, which means that when the ray of light passing from center of curvature, then it reflects back from the curvature only. Now our fourth ray rule is, when a ray of light incident obliquely towards the pole of any mirror, it is reflected obliquely as per the law of reflection. So this is all about the different types of mirrors. Now in next video we will discuss about the different ray diagrams and the mirror formula. Press subscribe and like button for more such videos. Thank you.